For the last 5 years, the Miami Heat have been a team that's been good enough to compete for a playoff spot, but not bad enough to get a top 10 pick. The definition of a team stuck in the middle. With the Heat missing the playoffs last season, the highlight for the Heat was Dwayne Wade's retirement tour and saying goodbye to the most beloved player in franchise history. Unlike Dirk Nowitzki, Wade was still actually a good player at this stage and could have very well played at least 2 more years. He had a productive and healthy season and once again showed what kind of leader he has been over his 15-year career. He was a 13-time All-Star, 3-time champion, made the All-NBA team 8 times, made the All-Defensive team 3 times, was the 2009 NBA scoring champion, and was a Finals MVP. What more could you have asked for from a former 5th overall pick in 2003? The Heat era without Dwayne Wade begins now. There were not many reasons to be optimistic about the future going into the offseason for the Miami Heat. They were going to have no cap space for free agency, and they only had the 13th pick in the draft. It appeared that the Heat were not going to make significant progress this summer. But you should never count out a guy like Pat Riley. He has surprised the league a number of times before, and this summer, he did not let the lack of cap space keep him from adding a star player. Miami wanted Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler wanted Miami, and they traded for the All-Star forward in a surprising move that nobody saw coming. Butler turned down more money from Philly to come to Miami. Butler is definitely a Pat Riley type of player. Tough, gritty, tenacious, and isn't afraid to say what's on his mind. Butler is the superstar caliber player the Heat has been looking for over the last couple of years. He's a legit two-way player in the prime of his career. A guy who can get you a bucket in clutch situations. Also in that trade, they finally got rid of the malcontent in Hassan Whiteside. He was ready to move on, and Miami could not have traded him fast enough. Miami had plenty of bad contracts, but Whiteside was by far the worst. It seemed like the moment he signed his max contract, he was on the decline. He always showed bad body language and really showed his immaturity when things didn't go his way. Being able to trade for Butler and also trade away Whiteside gave this trade an A++. Eric Spoelstra has been grooming the former 14th overall pick Bam Adebayo for that starting center spot, and even though he finished last season starting, it's officially his position to lose now. The team is very high on Bam, and they proved it when they kept him and Tyler Hero off limits when trying to pursue Chris Paul in the trade. Bam is a more active and athletic player than Whiteside, and most importantly, he is coachable, which is very important in a young player's development. He improved in every category last season compared to his rookie year, and the team plays so much better with him on the court instead of Whiteside. Bam is in line to make a huge jump this upcoming season, and Spoelstra will give him all the minutes he can handle. I believe Bam will be a top 3 candidate to win Most Improved Player. Normally at pick 13, a team usually don't get an opportunity to draft a top-notch prospect who could be one of the most important pieces of the team's future. But with that pick, the Heat selected Kentucky guard Tyler Hero. Even before he showed what he can do in Summer League, I knew it was an excellent pick. At the very least, I knew he was going to be a dead-eye shooter. But he's way more versatile than just that. He can create a shot off the dribble a little bit, he can facilitate, and gives great effort on defense. Everybody knows that great Summer League performances doesn't guarantee anything. But you can see the players that have the talent and confidence to impact the game. And Hero is going to be a hell of a player. In Summer League, he averaged around 20 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Miami currently don't have a true backup point guard on the roster, and I can see Eric Spoelstra letting Hero get some serious PT at the backup point guard spot. Whether he puts Hero at the point or the 2-guard spot, he needs to find some legit minutes for him in his rookie year. Outside shooting is much needed for this team, and Hero can provide that. 2 of the other bright spots for the Heat last season was the development of Justise Winslow and Derrick Jones Jr. Winslow looks like he's finally living up to his draft selection in 2015. He took the biggest leap in development on the team. He really showed his all-around game last year and even played point guard for much of the season, as Goran Dragic was sidelined with multiple injuries. He averaged career highs in points, rebounds, assists, and field goal percentage. You could argue that Winslow was the best player on the team last season as far as overall impact. The team played well with him as the primary ball handler, and I believe there's a possibility he could start the season as the point guard and have Dragic come off the bench. Winslow became a more consistent three-point shooter and continued to play top-notch defense every night. Derrick Jones Jr. is mostly known for his athletic ability and has some of the best in-game dunks in the NBA the last couple of years. His ability to glide in the air with the greatest of ease is a sight to see. But in his third season, he actually showed he's more than just a dunker. Like Adebayo and Winslow, he also set new career highs in a lot of categories. He's a good defender, and he also improved as a three-point shooter. Improving as an overall offensive player is still needed. But the crazy thing about him is he's still only 21 years old. The Miami Heat has always been known for their defense since Pat Riley joined the team in the 90s, and that was no different last season. The problem they had was on the offensive end. Adding a star player like Jimmy Butler and the continued development of the young guys should improve the offense significantly. This team could be one of the surprise teams in the league. I have the Heat winning 48 games and grabbing the 5th seed in the East. Having reliable offensive production is all the Heat need to be a top team in the East, and I believe they will have huge improvement in that area. Pat Riley has always been in the business of making moves, and I have a feeling the Miami Heat will be looking to trade for another star player this season.